I
Yeah,
hope you're ready.
I think I'm ready.
All right, everybody. We in the game store, so I'm Game Rebecca.
I'm Gamer Lynn, and
And
we
we
are
are
10
10
times
times
10.
10. we're going to not be as loud as normally because we are around other human beings. So let's.
We don't want to bother nobody, so we're going to
sure.
allow technology to do the heavy lifting.
Right, so, anyways, the reason why you're here is because of Lunar Rush.
Yes.
And the expansion that we were so graciously given
Yes.
by Dead
Dead
Alive
Alive
Games
Games.
and our wonderful, wonderful friend Will, or otherwise known as Hungry Gamer.
Gamer.
So thank you for sending this to us. Really appreciate it.
Our expansion here is called Lunar Rush Innovations.
Yes.
This one right here. And with this, it's an expansion on the Lunar Rush. So basically, it is compatible with the game. You need the core game to be able to play this game.
Absolutely.
And what it does is it replaces certain components of the core game with its own kind of, I would say, hybrid spin on the game that still plays up to 4 players, even though it does now allow an option for a 5th player that is controlled by kind of like an AI mechanic.
Yeah.
And what the game does is basically, if you are starting to either get bored or looking for a new experience with the game or whatever, allows you to go into it with a focus on factions.
Yes.
So you will notice in this game, the core 4 factions that you find in the original game are back here, but they are now elaborated on with each faction having its own kind of mechanic and play style that allows you, once you're hone in and once you're able to figure out what certain components thrive with each other, to rack the points up and
totally.
basically get yourself to a victory.
Yes, it is definitely more of a shakeup in that regard. So if you're looking for like you were just saying, like a different way to play and whatnot, it is very interesting. And each faction actually gets their own board because of how the factions are played. It's like it literally is going to be one of those things that like you have to focus on each of your strengths and whatnot. Me trying to figure out, because I played what was it? Was it Minor Inca?
No, you
No.
played Cash
Core. That's right. I had cyborgs. I played the cyborg people. So yeah, just like figuring out what they were mostly about and everything like that. It was very, very interesting. And then Lynn had played the Shui Guao. Or Shui Wow? Wow. Wow? Whoa? Shui Guo?
I would say Gao.
Gao?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shui Gao. Even though our pronunciation might be wrong here,
Right.
each faction basically has a strength but also weaknesses. So to give you an example of that, one faction might play up a need for building up way more oxygen. Or another faction might have a mechanic that allows them the ease of mining, or basically have a population, or should say astronaut benefit that allows them, if you can manipulate it right, to get you a quick and easy score. Now, overall, the same rules of the core game are still intact. For the fact that you are still shooting up astronauts to the moon, you are still trying to refine, get resources, and then bring them back down to Earth. The only thing that really changes here is the emphasis on the faction that having their own individual identity and being able to manipulate a certain playstyle or that faction or company's powers and strengths, and overcome certain weaknesses to be able to rack up the points in the end. So you're still dealing with 5 turns, basically limitation and bidding war on who is able to go up, and then basically affecting who comes back down in what order, and then in the end basically racking up points around the table to figure out who is the victor. Now, the one mechanic that we were not able to explore in this game, because we were only able to play a 2-player game with me and Becky, was the 5th player option, which is, I believe, the AI controls. Because again, this game is just 4 players. So there is a mechanic with a 5th faction that goes by the name of Colin Venture that has certain other rules that help manipulate or create competition for the other 4 players, instead of having all the 4 players focusing on maybe this faction is honed in, or this person plays there very well, you might want to all double team or triple team that player. Well, if you have a fifth player option and an AI mechanic, that is that wild card out there factor that you must also try to compete with, and not only try to manipulate and keep them from getting the benefit, but also too helping you to get the scores. So I definitely feel like there is a lot going on here that allows for a lot of replayability, a lot of figuring out certain mechanics of who is strong at what, and how to better play your type of game to a victory. But then also too, there are certain kind of drawbacks to the game that come along with it that is new from the core game. So to give you an example of that, there was a combination that in my playstyle of the Shiu Gao that was very strong using discoveries. And particularly, there was one card that felt very overpowered, or basically too OP. Granted, we, with our copy of the rules that we got, were able to figure out that there was a certain either misprint or kind of a adjustment to that rule that made it to where basically the power was not that OP. But we didn't figure that out until it was time to tally scores.
Right. Well, so it's like we figured out a little bit too late and everything why they nerfed this card.
Yes.
Like with the combination of his faction and everything, because it was super OP. It was
It
the
was-
elite construction.
And that nerf is very necessary. Now, the reason why I said there's a cause of concern for this is for the fact that even though they did catch it and it was in the rules and we were just late to catching it, I feel like because there were certain other factions we didn't explore, or certain times that we played the game that we didn't explore other factions or certain abilities, that there might be implications of this in other factions or other parts of the game that most of us have missed. Now, Dead or Alive Games are very good at catching this, so I would probably think in the final production of the game or the final print, they will catch these things and do the adjustments as needed. But still, I feel like there is still a problem where if you have a veteran player versus a newer player, you're going to have that difficulty, that learning curve there, to where the more veteran player is always going to have the benefit or the know-how than the new player, and either dominate the game until they can get good, or certain factions are just better at certain things, making it very hard or difficult to overcome.
There is definitely a note that we will say, and this is also something that Dead Alive Games also put in these updated notes and whatnot with the expansion. If you're new, please don't jump into this. Don't jump into this as like your first or even second, maybe, like unless you're that good, of learning games and stuff like that. But yeah, if it's your first time playing Lunar Rush, stick with the core. Like, get really familiar with the core and everything before jumping into the deluxe, as it were. Because, yeah, just like Lynn was saying, it becomes real complicated. And also, too, when it comes to, like, more veteran players and everything like that, it's really easy to get lost and, like, basically lose, like, quite quickly.
But I mean,
So,
hey, sometimes it's fun to lose.
I
Now,
guess.
another thing to
Unless you
piggyback,
get lapped.
it's just one of those type of games. And which, funny that you bring that up, I find another issue with this game is basically setup and cleanup.
Oh.
It's becoming a very big problem with some of these games, as Lunar Rush already was, I won't say like a heavy like setup and cleanup game like some other games that I am very familiar with or getting familiar with. To give an example, people that are used to playing Terraforming Mars and all these different components and its expansions on top of it, Lunar Rush Innovations kind of leans into that direction of setup. Basically figuring out the components that you need from the core game to match with the new game. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of different things that you have to set up and put into the game. It could probably take you anywhere between 15 to half an hour to get the game set up. And then after playing however long the game lasts for, which is I think about hour to maybe 2 hours at the most, now you got to clean it up. So
I think that's also too just kind of like a general like quote unquote complaint when it comes to like
Like physical board
just
games and
just
stuff in general.
yeah, just complex moving part systems and stuff like that. Because it's like we enjoy playing games like Terraforming Mars. We enjoy
Yeah.
playing games like not Darkest Dungeon, but
Massive
Massive
darkness.
Darkness and everything like that. But when it comes to the setup and the cleanup, it's just crazy.
Crazy.
So I will give Lunar Rush credit though in having their deluxe edition and everything like that. When it comes to all of their moving parts, like it's not as cumbersome as other games that we have played.
Yeah.
So there's that. It's very hard when you're adding on to a game to condense it to a point where it makes sense. Especially if you're trying to make it more innovative and then also to more interesting. So I understand the struggle and that's fine. I think it's just personally, when it comes to us, we just don't like the setup and everything. There's some people who enjoy it. We are not those people.
Especially when it comes to the point of you set up the game, you lost the game, and now you got to clean up the game. It's like, man, that's punishment. And again, Dead or Alive games are very good at their packaging and basically
and
taking
keeping stuff condensed.
Yeah. So I challenged in the final product Dead or Alive Games to figure out innovations on how to.
Oh my goodness.
I couldn't pass it up. It was there. It was. We were saying it and it came across. Yes.
Oh yeah.
But
crazy.
overall, the game is very, very fun. I think it's very competitive for those that like Terraforming Mars, to give an example, or Massive Darkness. I think this game is very, very good, especially for the fact that it is very good at keeping the condensed times of playtime of an hour to an hour and a half to 2 hours, possibly even less, better than most other games do, where they advertise themselves as being those type of games, but in the end result, they go way over. Or a game can get so competitive and complicated, it does that. This game, because of its set tone of 5 turns, it really helps to keep it in that realm. So,
7.
is it 7?
Yeah.
Yes, 7. Sorry,
7 turns.
7 turns. I keep coming back
No,
to
it's
the
okay.
5-player thing.
No, yeah, because it's like after like the 5th turn, then you start like shutting
things down.
letting stuff down. So yes, 7 turns.
Also, too, it keeps that urgency there as well. That's another thing I really like about the
Yeah.
game. Once you start to get to the 6th and 7th turn, that urgency is there to get those final scores in, to rank up the points as best you can, and even, too, the risk and reward of using a lot of points to bid to be able to get those opportunities before time runs out.
Yeah, so then it's like if you are not a fan of like strategy,
This might be...
this is not for you. It's like
Yeah.
this is all about strats and trying to get your timing right and everything like that. So
Another recommendation would be as well too, if you have friends that are very good at these type of games, or they own a lot of these games, maybe this would be a good gift for them to be able to induct you into the game, to basically teach you the ins and outs, how it works, and to get you to help. Because again, most of these board games aren't good unless you have other friends that you enjoy playing them with.
totally.
And usually there is a passion with other people to these games or whatever that can transfer to you in case you're interested, but you're not quite there, or you're having a hard time with that learning curve.
Right. Gift this to your board game buddy that loves learning how to play the game and everything
And you'll
like
have
that.
a way better time.
Exactly. So then that way it's not like we're all being like, oh, what do you mean? And then you have just that one nerd that's like, you know what? I got this, guys. This is how you play it. Then there you go. There it is.
But overall, Lunar Rush is very positive. I really enjoyed the game. Again, even with those drawbacks, this does not ruin the game for me at all.
Nope.
It's just certain things that you probably want to know or need to know about the game.
Yes.
To know that either it's for you, or to expect these certain adjustments so that way you can better enjoy it or get around that curve.
Yeah.
Again, thank you very much to Lunar Rush for basically giving us the opportunity to
Dead
preview the
Alive
game.
Games.
I look forward to this release. As well, thank you very much to Dead or Alive Games, to William, Hungry Gamer. being very patient with us, as
Yes.
was kind of hard for us to get this video out due to certain conflict of scheduling and also to crunch time
Life.
that we put on ourselves.
Life. Life,
But
life,
they have
life.
been very, very generous with us,
Yes.
as well as too. Shout outs to games in the Bay Area, the games of Pittsburg and games of Brentwood, as most of this recording has been conducted through both of these locations.
Yes.
And if you find yourself in the Bay Area, I suggest that you come down to these stores to check them out and support the local gaming stores.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
There was something in my brain and then it fell out.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You know what you forgot too?
What'd I forget?
You forgot Lunar Buddy.
I forgot Moon Buddy.
I think there was a part where I thought about that and I didn't say anything. So it's my fault. You can blame me.
I'm sorry, Moon Buddy. Man, I failed you. I apologize. I'm so sad now. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry to do that to you.
Okay.
But I'm Gamerland.
I'm Gamer Rebecca.
We want you to keep it 100. Okay, I should have did that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Man. Moon Buddy could have been here the whole time.